Glad to have you with us here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones, your fearless leader here with you. Coming up on today's show, Teven Jenkins. Could he be on his way to Seattle? He had a visit today with the Hawks. Will he sign? Stay tuned for that. We'll have a complete update and analysis for you coming up in just a bit. Before we do, folks, we are closing in on 65,000 subscribers on the channel. A little less than 400 away from reaching that next milestone. We have had a fun few weeks here on Seahawks Today as we've broken down everything that's happened in real time, from the DK trade, the Geno trade, releasing Tyler Lockett, the signing of Sam Darnold, Cooper Kupp, DeMarcus Lawrence. We've done live shows. We've brought you daily videos. It has been a circus around here, and I have loved every single minute of it, folks. And I want to make sure that you're a part of our coverage throughout the rest of free agency, into the draft. We got the offseason covered. We are your offseason headquarters here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now for free. Let's get to 65,000 subscribers. Make it happen. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV. On Monday, the Seahawks had a meeting with offensive guard Teven Jenkins with the idea of potentially signing him in NFL free agency. He is widely considered to be, at this point in time, Seattle's top free agency target. They also have a meeting scheduled with Michael Gallup, the former Cowboys receiver, but all eyes and all focus right now is on the idea of bringing Teven Jenkins in. Let's tell you more about Teven Jenkins, a former 2021 second-round pick out of Oklahoma State by the Chicago Bears, was an all-Big 12 selection there with the Cowboys, and he started his career a little bit slow. He was a tackle, then moved to the guard position, and he really started to thrive when he evolved at that guard spot as he came into his own. His PFF grades took a big jump up as they went from the 40s his rookie year to the 70s every single season after that. Allowed about 11 sacks in 4 seasons and has plenty of experience. 45 career games played with 38 starts. The Seahawks are not the only team that has shown interest in Teven Jenkins. Others include the Cincinnati Bengals, who actually might be pressed when it comes money-wise, as they just got new deals done with Shemar Chase and T. Higgins, but nonetheless, he appears on their radar. The New York Giants could certainly use some offensive line help as they are retooling that roster there in New York. And then, of course, Seattle is another top destination for Jenkins' services as well, potentially. Reports are that Jenkins is seeking anywhere from $11 to $14 million. And I know that Seattle has spent a lot of money over the last couple of days, but he's not out of the ballpark for Seattle in their price range. Spotrac is projecting that Jenkins will get about a 3-year, $31 million deal. And Seattle right now has anywhere between $10 to $15 million in usable cap space to sign more free agents at this point. Bottom line, this can work for Seattle. They can bring Teven Jenkins in. They can afford to pay him and get a deal done and be one of their starting guards in 2025. Will they get a deal done? That remains to be seen. What's your one-word reaction to the news on Teven Jenkins and this visit of him possibly signing with the Seattle Seahawks? Weigh in the comment section. Let us know. It is our pinned comment today. You might get an ad break while the ad's playing. Get your one word in and let us know what that is. The big concern when it comes to Teven Jenkins has nothing to do with his talent level. It has to do with his health, as he has struggled to stay healthy over the years. You've heard it on this show many times previously. The best availability is availability. And you look at Teven Jenkins in his career, he has missed a total of 23 games in 4 seasons. And as you get older, that usually doesn't get better when it comes to that health status situation. The talent is certainly there for Tevin Jenkins. No one is arguing if he can be a quality starting guard in the National Football League. Nobody is questioning if he can be a difference maker for this Seahawks team when he's healthy. Here's what I mean by that. You take a look at the PFF grades. Let's start there, folks. This is what he did in 2024. Overall grade was 75.4. Pass block grade was 75.8. Run block grade was 74.3. Solid in all three categories. Allowed 4 sacks. Gave up 4 penalties. I can live with that. And then you take it a step further. Only allowed 1 hit. Only allowed 12 hurries. Those are some very good numbers. Now, with that said, when it comes to Tevin Jenkins at this point in time, I like the idea of bringing him in, but that doesn't mean that everything is going to be rainbows and candy at this point. It's a huge step in the right direction, but this doesn't fix everything for Seattle of the issues that face this team on the offensive line right now. I look at the offensive line group. Charles Cross, solid left tackle. He's emerging. He's coming along. He's well on track to being an all-pro caliber tackle in this league. Abraham Lucas looked really good when he came back from injury, but he still has a major injury concern. Olu was solid in the second half of the season, but it will be his 3rd year, and we need more of a sample size to see what he potentially is going to do long term. You bring in Jenkins. There's another starter there, but your offensive line situation isn't perfect. Far from it still at that point, because you don't know what you're going to get out of Olu and Abraham Lucas, and you still need to find another guard. And I think if you bring Jenkins in, the other guard in all likelihood would come through the draft. I haven't seen enough from Christian Haynes or Anthony Bradford to feel comfortable with one of those two being your starting guard opposite of Teven Jenkins next year. You are still going to have to find other options at this point. It's a step forward, and the offensive line should be improved with these moves, but there is still work to be done at this point as far as that goes. Will the offensive line be improved? Do you agree with me? This offensive line is going to see improvement in 2025. If so, type Y for yes. If not, type in for no. Weigh in the comments section. Let us know how you feel if the offensive line will be improved next year or not. One guy we're excited about, hopefully he's protected, that is Sam Darnold. And his jerseys are on sale now at chatsports.com/Darnold. We have this fantastic home jersey. He's the new number 14, replacing our old friend DK Metcalf. And you can get these jerseys. They are going hot, folks, with free shipping for a limited time. So what are you waiting for? Get your Sam Darnold jersey. Take advantage of the free shipping at chatsports.com/Darnold. We also have other Seahawks gear available at that same link for you as well. Go check it out today, chatsports.com/Darnold to get yours now. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. That's chatsports.com/Darnold. So let's take one last look over the free agency tracker, what Seattle has done to this point. Josh Jobe gets a 1-year, $2 million deal. He'll return to Seattle in 2025. Excited about having Josh Jobe back on a cheap contract after having a pretty solid second half of the season. Jarran Reed also makes his return. The defensive line looks really solid with Jarran Reed, Byron Murphy, and Leonard Williams. Need some reinforcements behind those guys, though. Ernest Jones on a new 3-year, $33 million deal with $15 million guaranteed. He'll be brought in to kind of lead that defense. Did fantastic after the trade deadline, and he's just now starting to enter his prime years. Sam Darnold is your new quarterback. A lot of excitement about what Sam Darnold is going to do, and I think that there's reason to be optimistic that he's going to be an improvement over Geno Smith, and he's younger than Geno, too. Other moves include Josh Jones at the offensive tackle spot. He'll be your backup swing tackle behind Abraham Lucas and Charles Cross, and he should be an improvement from George Fant, who couldn't stay healthy last year. MVS, not my favorite signing, if I'm going to be honest with you, but now that we've seen Seattle bring in other receiver help, it doesn't look as bad. You don't have to depend on him as much. DeMarcus Lawrence, I think that should be a lot of fun having him in Seattle on a 3-year, $42 million deal. He is older, though. He is 32, and he had problems staying healthy last year. If he can stay healthy, I have every reason to think DeMarcus Lawrence is going to be really good. Josh Ross is back on a 1-year deal. Cody White also back on a 1-year deal. And then Cooper Kupp, who's going to be your number 2 receiver next to JSN and does so much more than just catching the football. He's a great leader. He's a great blocker. I'm excited about Cooper Kupp. And then Shemar Jean-Charles at the corner position comes over from the New Orleans Saints. He'll be one of your backup corners for Seattle on the defensive side of the ball. All in all, with what the Hawks have done in free agency at this point, let me make this clear. This is not a rebuild of what Seattle has done. I know you've moved on from some big names like Geno Smith, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. It's a lot of changes that everybody is having to go through here. This is a retooling of this roster. Seattle had to get their cap situation right. They got some more draft picks along the way. Now they get the chance to really build this thing up, go with the youth movement, and we have every reason to think if they invest in the offensive line and guys like Tevin Jenkins and through this draft, they can be a playoff team in 2025. For continuing coverage on your Seattle Seahawks throughout the rest of the offseason, lock us in. Subscribe now for free for the latest happenings on your favorite team each and every day right here on Seahawks Today. I'm Tyler Jones. Subscribe now, youtube.com/SeahawksTV, and we'll see you next time.